With All-Star cheerleading tryouts just around the corner, here are some tips for you. You can't have it all. You can either bump up a level or what they call level up. And usually that means it's going to be a harder experience, maybe tougher coaching, and probably not win as much. If you stay down a level, then you will have more success and the coaches won't have to yell as much because it will be easier for your child to achieve. Gentle coaching works about as good as gentle parenting. As a mom myself, I couldn't just say, make up the bed once and for the rest of their life, the bed was made. I would have to remind them, make up the bed, make up the bed. Did you make up the bed? And finally, I would have to snap and go crazy and show my mom crazy so that the beds would be made. If you don't make up the bed, I'm done, you're grounded, and I'm taking the keys. So gentle coaching really doesn't produce the best teams, the best athletes, or the best outcome because kids are not inherently self-motivated. What matters the most is that you have a happy child. Are they always going to be happy? No. It's kind of like any relationship. As long as they're happy most of the time, then I think you're at the right spot. Don't send emails after you've had too much wine. Your daughter is more than her level. Please don't define your child based on the skills that she can do or the level that she's at. Let her know that she is good enough for you and she is more than cheerleading. Praise her teamwork. Praise her work ethic. Praise her heart, not her level or her tumbling. Don't let that define her. There are 6 levels in cheerleading. The goal is to be able to cheer all the way through your senior year in high school. If you start when you're age 6 and you want to go till you're 18, then you want to stay at each level 2 or 3 years. But you don't want to level up too fast or they're going to plateau in the 8th or 9th grade. Being busy is a good thing for girls. You win some, you lose some. Open communication is the key to success. It's just cheerleading.
All right, tribe, we hope you love that little intro video from TikTok. You can see the full video if you click on the links in the comments. Just kind of a fun, but also with some truth in it, example and look at the season that we're kind of within with team placements coming up at Tribe and everything that surrounds them. So happy Friday. We hope you've all had a great week. Today we're going to talk about age divisions and how they relate to the different year that your athlete was born in and team placements coming up and how that kind of affects them as per the USASF. So a couple quick things. If you haven't already seen it, we just released our Elite Team Practice Wear on our Instagram and Facebook. So go check those out on our social media. We're super excited for the bright colors and the fun that's going to be in the gym this year. Just letting everybody shine bright here in season 7. So go take a look at that. We hope you love it as much as we do. We're excited to get the kids in that gear. And that neon yellow shirt is actually going to be the team placement shirt. So they're going to get one of those right away during team placement weekend and be repping Tribe right off the bat. So we're excited for that. Also, we have the final bash this weekend, Sunday, April 10th here in Des Moines at Hy-Vee Hall. So we hope many of you can join us. We're going to have all 10 of our Tribe teams performing. This is the first time all season that we've all had our whole Tribe together. So we're very, very excited. It's also our first performance for our Cheer Abilities team, Arrows. So I know everybody is getting ready to rally around them for the first time, and it's just going to be an amazing experience. So let's dive into age division. So first, I just want to hit a little bit on the difference between division and level. So when we place a team, we have both of these things. We really have 3 items: size, division, and level. So let's say we have a medium senior level 4. Medium is just the size. That tells us how many athletes can be on the team. For medium, that's 23 to 30. The age division is that senior mark. So just saying that they're this certain age or born within these certain years. And then the level is that level 4 that determines these are kind of the skills that they can do legally within their routine, and they're going to compete against other athletes and other teams that are level 4 and in that senior division. So we kind of have those three facets of each team when we place teams and when we go to compete, and how we rank against the teams around us. So just a little quick note of that. So age division is set by the USASF, United States All-Star Federation. I'll put the link for their website on the screen. So all of this information is out there to the public. You can see all of this there, and it's where we get our information. So they set this age rubric every single year. It usually doesn't change by much over the past maybe 5 or 10 years. They've tried to kind of increase the bottom age bracket for teams, so we don't have necessarily 7-year-olds on a senior team with 18-year-olds. You can't do that anymore. So they do, or they have over the past few years been increasing that bottom age to make the divisions a little more age appropriate. I think it's important to note too that we aren't going to be a competitive senior team that is full of 10 and 12-year-olds. Now we can't have 10-year-olds on it, but full of 11, 12-year-olds on a senior team. You're not going to compete well against other senior teams who have a significant number of older kids. So the example I always use with our families, it's like 14 and under baseball or 16 and under baseball. If you're on a 14 and under baseball team, most of your athletes are going to be at that 14 age range, 13, 14. They're not going to be at the under. They're not going to be 9 and 10-year-olds. Maybe you have that one player who maybe matured early, or they're just a stud at their position. Maybe they're going to play up to that range, but typically in other sports, what we see is a consistency of ages across the board. Helps the kids learn. It helps them progress through the levels with like-minded athletes and people who are at the same stages of their life. So that's one of the reasons that USASF has taken this approach on developing age ranges. I'm going to put a little chart on the screen now so you can see. And this chart is going to be pretty easy to understand. If you just look across the top and find your athlete's birth year, you can look down and you'll be able to see every possible age and division that they could compete on for this coming 2022-2023 season. So just find, let's say 2010, and you scroll down and you'll be able to see all of those divisions on the left side that they would be able to compete within. So it's different pending birthday. You see at the far left side, the 2017 birthdays, they can only compete in that tiny range. And then as the ages move, to older, you'll see that chart kind of filter down to the bottom right. So this is when we have team placements. One of the most important things is just that we have the birthdays right for each athlete and that we have this information, because it's going to determine just what's allowed. And I think it's important for our athletes and our staff and our parents to be able to look and go, okay, my athlete could be a youth age, or they could be a junior age, or even a senior age. Sometimes you could be spread across many different ages as, say, an 11 or 12-year-old. An 8-year-old could be on a mini team, a junior team, or a youth team. So you have those different options of where to put them. When we're looking at team placements, as much as we can, we want to keep athletes in a similar age range to their teams. So it's going to benefit us to have the bulk of that team truly be in that, say, junior age versus having tons of younger kids on the team. Let's talk about why. So older kids can be coached a little harder. Let's face it. We have different age ranges, and there's always exceptions to the rule. But as a whole, older kids can take a little more from a mental standpoint as far as corrections, quick corrections, changes in routines. I know some of the changes that we make sometimes within our teams in the season are major changes and very quick. For most younger athletes, those changes would be very hard to make if they were on a junior or senior team, where we may minimize those changes or lessen those changes during the year on a younger team purposefully for the maturity level and learnability of those athletes. we also, in this particular sport, we do sometimes have younger athletes up on older teams due to this thing called stunting. So sometimes we do have those younger athletes that may be with older athletes due to that position or that role. But we try to be very choosy as far as maturity level and growth within a team and kind of how we think they're going to adapt and handle that. So there's no necessarily perfect equation to figuring that out, but we try to use our experience with the athletes and take what we know and make the best decisions that we can to make them as well as the team successful. So I think the most important thing just to note is, as comical as it was in the TikTok, she mentioned that a team or a level does not define your athlete. An age division doesn't either. I know as youth kids or younger, we don't get to do this summit experience. Well, if you're 8 and you go to summit for the next 10 years, the experience isn't going to be that exciting in another 6 or 7 years, or maybe as exciting, even though it maybe seems like a great thing right now. We enjoy that athletes can have different experiences and have something to look forward to and work forward to as they move up within not just the levels but also the age divisions. So I think that's something kind of important to note, is just that if you're a youth level 4 team or a senior level 4 team, you get to do pretty much the same skills from a rules standpoint. You can compete the same tumbling skills, you can compete the same stunts, and you're going to get a similar experience as far as what you get to do on the competition mat. And maybe just a little bit different experience as far as the team that you're going to grow up with and glow up with and get to progress through your seasons with. So because our younger athletes are just becoming more and more talented, I think it's awesome that we're going to start seeing at Tribe these younger teams. We had our first youth level 3 team this year, which is incredible. I mean, these kids are going to be the future of our upper level programs at a much younger age. Due to that experience. So we're excited to keep pushing the bounds as far as age and level and letting these kids throw the skills that they work so hard on to be able to compete at those levels. So I know age is always an interesting kind of subject, but just trust us on the process. A lot of times we just want to do what's best for your athlete and make sure that they are going to progress well and progress with friends and people that they can connect with. So the cheer experience is fun, and the people that they meet and they're spending, so much of their time with over the next 5 or 6 or 10 years are people that they're going to be able to move through life with and hopefully become lifelong friends with. So that's all I have for today's Vibe of Our Tribe. We're really excited. We are 2 weeks out from our 2022-2023 Elite Team placements. If you haven't already registered, pop on our website, register.ourtribeathletics.com today. Get that done. Kenzie has been each Friday sending out all of the forms that you do need to complete ahead of time. So if you haven't done those yet, make sure you get that paperwork done and you'll be ready to rock and roll on April 23rd and 24th. Tribe, we will see you at Bash on Sunday. Let's get loud. Let's have some crazy fun together for this last one in Des Moines. And have a great weekend.